Welcome back to our channel. Today we are talking about something very important. 5 things to do instead of wasting time on social media. Most people wake up in the morning, and the first thing they do is check their phone. They open Instagram, they open Facebook, they open TikTok, they start scrolling. 10 minutes pass, then 30 minutes, then 1 hour, and the day has barely started, but already 1 hour of their life is gone to videos of strangers, gone to news that does not affect them, gone to opinions they never asked for, gone to a world that exists only inside a small screen. And the worst part is this: after all that scrolling, they do not feel better, they feel more tired. They feel more distracted. They feel more behind. Like everyone else is living a better life. Like everyone else is achieving more. Like they are somehow falling behind in a race they never agreed to run. Does this sound familiar? If yes, then today's lesson is for you. Because today we are not going to talk about deleting social media. We are not going to say that social media is completely evil. Social media has its uses. But there is a big difference between using social media and being used by social media. And most people are being used by it. Their time is being taken. Their energy is being drained. Their focus is being stolen. And, in exchange, they get nothing real. Nothing that builds their life. Nothing that moves them forward. Today we will learn 5 powerful things you can do instead. 5 things that will give your time back to you. 5 things that will actually change your life. Let us begin. Thing 1. Read something that makes you smarter. The average person spends more than 2 hours every day on social media. 2 hours every single day. Now think about this. If you spent just 30 minutes of those 2 hours reading something useful instead, what would happen? In 1 week, that is 3.5 hours of reading. In 1 month, that is 14 hours. In 1 year, that is 168 hours of useful reading. 168 hours of knowledge that could change how you think, how you work, and how you live, all from just 30 minutes a day. Reading is one of the most powerful things a person can do with their time. And not just any reading. Reading that teaches you something real. Books about people who built great things. Books about how the mind works. Books about money and how to manage it wisely. Books about skills that can improve your career. Books in English that help you grow your language while growing your knowledge. When you read, something happens in your brain that scrolling never creates. Your thinking becomes deeper. Your focus becomes stronger. Your imagination becomes more active. Your vocabulary grows naturally. Your understanding of the world becomes wider and richer. Scrolling gives your brain tiny pieces of information every few seconds. It trains your brain to need constant stimulation. It makes it harder to focus on one thing for more than a few minutes. Reading does the opposite. It trains your brain to stay with one idea, to follow a thought all the way to the end, to think carefully and deeply. And a brain that can think deeply is a brain that can solve problems, create ideas, and build something valuable. I know a young man named William. William used to spend 3 hours every day on social media. He told himself he was just relaxing, just taking a break. But at the end of every day, he felt empty, like he had done nothing meaningful. One day, he made a simple decision. He replaced 30 minutes of scrolling with reading, just 30 minutes. He started with simple books, short chapters, easy language. After 1 month, he had finished 2 books. After 3 months, he had finished 7. After 6 months, something remarkable happened. People started noticing that William spoke differently. He had new ideas. He had interesting opinions. He had information that other people did not have. His confidence grew. Not because he had done anything dramatic, but because he had quietly filled his mind with something valuable every day for 6 months. You do not need to read for hours. Start with 10 pages a day. Just 10 pages. That is enough to finish most books in 1 month. And one book a month is 12 books a year. 12 books of knowledge, ideas, and wisdom that scrolling will never give you. Put your phone down. Pick up a book and watch what slowly happens to your mind. Remember this powerful line. Every book you read makes you a slightly different person. Every hour you scroll leaves you exactly the same. Thing 2. Move your body and feel alive. When was the last time you moved your body with real intention? Not just walking from the sofa to the kitchen, but actually moving, exercising, streeting. Walking outside with purpose. For many people, the honest answer is a long time ago, because social media has made sitting still feel normal. You sit in the morning and scroll. You sit at work and stare at a screen. You sit in the evening and scroll again. And your body, which was designed to move, stays still for hours and hours every day. And a body that stays still for too long starts telling you about it. Through tiredness, through a heavy feeling in your shoulders, through a foggy mind that cannot focus properly, through low energy that makes everything feel harder than it should. Exercise is not just about how your body looks. Exercise is about how your body feels. And more importantly, how your mind feels. When you move your body, your brain releases chemicals that make you feel better, more alert, more positive, more capable, more ready to face the challenges of your day. These chemicals do not come from scrolling. They do not come from watching other people exercise on social media. They only come from actually moving your own body. Let me tell you about a woman named Catherine. Catherine worked long hours at a demanding job. Every evening when she came home, she was exhausted. She told herself she deserved to relax. So she would lie on her sofa and scroll through social media for 2 or 3 hours. Then she would go to sleep. She expected this routine to help her recover. But every morning she woke up feeling just as tired as the night before, sometimes more tired. One evening, her doctor told her something she did not expect. He said, "Catherine, the scrolling is not helping you rest. It is actually making your tiredness worse." He suggested she try something different. Instead of lying on the sofa with her phone, she should go for a 30-minute walk outside. Catherine was doubtful. She was already tired. How would walking make her less tired? But she tried it. That first evening, she walked slowly around her neighborhood. She put her phone in her pocket. She looked at the trees and the sky. She breathed the outside air. And something unexpected happened. By the time she came home 30 minutes later, she felt different, not more tired, less tired. Her mind felt clearer. Her body felt lighter. She slept better that night than she had in months. Catherine continued walking every evening. After 2 weeks, she started adding simple home exercises. After 1 month, her energy levels had completely changed. She was sleeping better. She was focusing better at work. She was feeling more positive about her life, all because she replaced 1 hour of scrolling with 30 minutes of movement. You do not need an expensive gym membership. You do not need special equipment. You do not need a complicated exercise program. You just need to move, walk around your neighborhood, stretch in your bedroom, do simple exercises at home, dance in your kitchen if that is what makes you happy. Just move every day because your body was not designed to sit still and scroll. It was designed to move. And when you give it what it was designed for, it will give you back something very valuable: energy, clarity, and the feeling of being genuinely alive. Remember this powerful line: Social media gives you other people's highlight moments. Exercise gives you your own best moments. Choose wisely. Thing 3. Learn a skill that changes your future. Think about where you want to be in 5 years. What kind of life do you want? What kind of work do you want to do? What kind of person do you want to become? Now ask yourself one honest question. Is the time you spend on social media moving you toward that future, or is it taking you further away from it? For most people, the answer is uncomfortable, because the time spent scrolling is time not spent building, not spent learning, not spent growing, and skills are what build futures, not followers, not likes, not viral videos. Real skills. Practical abilities that make you more capable, more valuable, and more confident. Skills like communication and public speaking. Skills like writing clearly and persuasively. Skills like understanding technology and how to use it effectively. Skills like learning a new language. Skills like managing money wisely. Skills like solving problems creatively. These skills take time to build. They do not come instantly, but they also do not disappear. Once you build a real skill, it stays with you. It travels with you to every job, every conversation, and every opportunity. Social media gives you entertainment that disappears from your memory within hours. Skills give you abilities that stay with you for life. Let me tell you about a young man named Thomas. Thomas was 24 years old. He spent about 3 hours every day on social media. He was not unhappy, but he felt like his life was not really going anywhere. One day he decided to use just one of those 3 hours to learn something new. He chose to improve his English speaking. He started practicing speaking English every day for 1 hour. He spoke to himself in English. He described his day in English. He practiced new phrases and sentences out loud. He recorded himself and listened back. It felt difficult at first, sometimes embarrassing, but he kept going. After 3 months, something changed. He felt more confident speaking in meetings at work. After 6 months, a new opportunity appeared at his company, an international project that needed someone comfortable with English communication. Thomas applied. He got the position. His salary increased. His career moved in a direction he had never expected, not because of anything dramatic, because of 1 hour every day that he chose to invest in a real skill instead of scrolling. Think about what skill could change your future. What is one thing you could learn that would make you more capable and more confident a year from now? Spend 30 minutes every day learning that skill, not watching other people be skilled, not reading about the skill, practicing the skill, doing it yourself, making mistakes, and getting better. Because 30 minutes every day for 1 year is 182 hours of skill building. 182 hours that most people will spend scrolling. But you do not have to. Remember this powerful line. Social media shows you other people's success. Skills create your own success. Stop watching and start building. Thing 4. Spend real time with real people. Social media promises connection. It tells you that you can be connected to hundreds of people at the same time. That you can know what everyone is doing. That you can be part of everyone's life. But here is something interesting. Many people who are the most active on social media are also some of the loneliest people in the world. Because social media does not give you real connection. It gives you the feeling of connection, and the feeling of connection is not the same as actual connection. Real connection happens when you sit with someone and they look you in the eyes. When you laugh together about something that happened today. When you share a meal and talk about things that matter. When someone asks how you are and actually waits for your honest answer. When someone sees you having a hard day and stays beside you without checking their phone, these moments cannot happen through a screen. They cannot be replaced by likes or comments or messages. They require physical presence. They require actual time spent together. Let me tell you about a woman named Margaret. Margaret had 400 followers on social media. She posted regularly. She received many likes and comments. On the surface, her social life looked very active and full. But on most evenings, she sat alone in her flat, scrolling through other people's lives, feeling a quiet sadness that she could not quite explain. One evening, her neighbor knocked on her door and invited her to a small dinner gathering with a few people from the building. Margaret almost said no. She was tired. She had already settled in for an evening of scrolling. But something made her say yes. That evening was different from anything she had experienced in a long time. Real conversations happened. People laughed at real things. Stories were shared. Opinions were exchanged honestly. By the end of the evening, Margaret felt something she had not felt in months. Full, not physically full, but full in a way that no amount of scrolling had ever made her feel. Full of real human warmth, full of genuine connection. She walked back to her flat and put her phone on the table. She did not feel like scrolling anymore. She had just experienced something that made scrolling feel very small in comparison. Real time with real people. From that evening, Margaret made a commitment. Every week, she would spend real face-to-face time with at least one person who mattered to her, a family member, a friend, a colleague she wanted to know better, real time, without phones on the table, without half attention given to a screen, full presence, full attention, full connection. And her life became richer in a way that no social media platform could ever provide. You also have people in your life who deserve your real presence, not your online presence, your actual physical presence. Put the phone down, call someone you have not spoken to in a while, meet a friend for a walk, have dinner with your family without screens on the table. Be fully present with the people who are already in your life. Because real connection is one of the most nourishing things a human being can experience. And you cannot find it by scrolling. You can only find it by showing up. Remember this powerful line. Social media gives you hundreds of shallow connections. Real life gives you a few deep ones. Deep ones are worth infinitely more. Thing 5. Sit quietly and plan your future. This last thing might sound too simple. It might sound almost too easy to make a real difference. But it is actually one of the most powerful things you can do with your time. Sit quietly, without your phone, without music, without noise. And think about your life. Think about where you are right now. Think about where you want to be. Think about what is working and what is not. Think about what you really want. Most people never do this. They are always busy, always stimulated, always consuming something. Music in the ears, phone in the hands, screen in front of the eyes. Their mind is never quiet. It never gets the chance to think clearly. And a mind that never thinks clearly cannot make good decisions. It cannot see where it is going. It cannot understand what it truly wants. It just keeps reacting to whatever appears in front of it. Social media is designed to keep your mind busy. It is designed to fill every empty moment, every quiet moment, because empty moments are when you think. And when you think, you stop scrolling. And when you stop scrolling, the platform loses. So it makes sure you are never quiet, never still, never alone with your own thoughts. But your thoughts are important. Your dreams are important. Your plans are important, and they need quiet space to develop. Let me tell you about a man named George. George was a hard-working man with many responsibilities. He was always busy. He had a job, a family, and many daily tasks, and in every free moment he had, he escaped to social media. It felt like a break, but he never felt rested after it. He never felt clear. He never felt like he knew where his life was going. One Saturday morning, his phone battery died. He did not charge it immediately. Instead, he made himself a cup of tea. He sat in his garden, and for the first time in months, he sat in complete silence. At first, it felt strange, uncomfortable. He wanted to reach for his phone, but it was not there, so he just sat, and slowly, quietly, his own thoughts started coming. He thought about his children and what kind of father he wanted to be. He thought about his work and whether it was truly fulfilling him. He thought about a dream he had years ago that he had completely forgotten. He thought about what he would do differently if he started over. After 40 minutes in that garden, George felt something he had not felt in a very long time. Clarity. He knew what he wanted. He knew what was missing. He knew what needed to change, not because someone told him, but because he had finally given his own mind the quiet space to speak. That morning changed the direction of George's life, not because of anything dramatic, because he finally listened to himself. You also need this quiet time, every day if possible, even for 15 minutes. Sit without your phone, without noise, without stimulation. Let your mind be still. Let your own thoughts come. Ask yourself honest questions. What do I really want from my life? What am I building toward? What do I need to change? What small step can I take today? Write down what comes, even just a few sentences. This practice of quiet reflection is something the most successful and peaceful people in the world do regularly. Not because they have nothing else to do, because they understand that clarity is more valuable than entertainment. And clarity only comes in silence. Remember this powerful line. Social media fills your mind with other people's thoughts. Silence gives you space to hear your own. And your own thoughts are the most important ones you will ever have. Let us look at all 5 things together. Thing 1. Read something that makes you smarter. Thing 2. Move your body and feel alive. Thing 3. Learn a skill that changes your future. Thing 4. Spend real time with real people. Thing 5. Sit quietly and plan your future. None of these things are complicated. None of them cost money. None of them require special equipment or special talent. They only require one decision, the decision to use your time differently. You do not need to do all 5 things today. Start with one. Choose the one that feels most important for your life right now. Dot op B, just 30 minutes of scrolling with that one thing. Just 30 minutes. And do it every day for 1 week. Then notice how differently you feel at the end of that week. Notice how much more you have accomplished. Notice how much clearer your mind feels. Notice how much more energy you have. Notice how much more in control of your own life you feel. Because that is what happens when you take your time back. You become the person who is directing your own life, not the person being directed by an algorithm. Social media will always be there. It will always be trying to get your attention. It will always be creating new ways to keep you scrolling. But your time will not always be there. Every day that passes is a day you cannot get back. Every hour spent scrolling is an hour that belonged to your future. Choose your future. Choose your growth. Choose your life. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Start today. Because the best time to take your time back was yesterday. The second best time is right now.